Good evening, all. Got a track guide for you. Be for Dallara LMP2 Daytona race. This is going to be a really popular combo here in the next month and a half or so. Daytona ended January. Season, different. It's going to be LMP cars, so you don't have to GS or LMs to kind of be that. Anyways, I ran probably 8 laps or so here. I wanted to get this out pretty early. Practice a lot for this. By no means I aliens or anything like that, but I can make my track pretty safely. And I have decent pace, I would say. For this, I was just using, I think, an old DRS setup. Laps that I'm pretty consistent to 34. 6 laps. This date and time, 7:30 in the morning. Date and time that's set up for the IMSA Enduro race that's coming up here. I think it's a month from now. Daytona. Have your normal IMSA series here. You might even have your sprint, maybe, here at some. So this track guide can be pretty much all of those. Without further ado, I'm going to run through a few laps here, and then I'll kind of break down a lap slower for you. So, headed here in turn 1, we're going to be, the thing I'm looking for is I'm counting the hash marks on the track. I got down to first gear here. I think second gear is probably provides a little bit more stability. I'm going to be using those dash marks there that would be the exit of pit road. And when I go and break this down slower, I'll point that stuff out. Purposes of just getting you a few laps in it. Right. Just to turn it there a bit. Kind of a double apex turn. That little turn off to the right there is going to be a reference point for you, so keep that in mind. And headed down the back straightaway here towards the bus stop. You have braking markers on the right, and you also have a traffic signal. The traffic signal is the braking marker that I use. Car doesn't like the curves all that much, so you definitely got to be careful with that. Real unsteady in the car, just the right angle score is pretty low, so. But that was completing what I would consider lap 1. Things, I'll stay second there. A few things with this car. You never want the traction control to engage, so if you get too much steering angle in the car, get into the throttle too hard. It happened a little bit there, you could hear it. When I see it here, so red lights that start lighting up on the dash, I think you can have up to 3. One's not much traction control kicking in. If you get up to 3, you got a lot of traction control, and just you can hear it. It's kind of a distinct sound when that traction control kicks in, but it will kick till all power. Yeah, you can kind of see it's kicking in a little bit there under braking. My fastest lap of these laps. I may have had what would have been considered on the track on this lap, though, actually. Last lap, I don't remember for sure. That would have been an invalidated lap. It's worth laps here. Obviously for the Daytona 24, which is probably what most people are watching this for, your time of day, 24 hours. So you can be racing at night, you can be racing early morning, you can be racing in the late evening. The track, just appearance-wise, will look completely different. Probably one of the trickier times is a little bit earlier than this is. That's when the sun's coming up. You'll start getting some like pink glare across the track. That will kind of mess up some of your braking markers maybe a little bit, especially entering turn when you can't see those dashes on the track surface quite as good. You just kind of have to, as you get more and more laps in, you'll get the hang of it. Kind of have to rely upon that. Be able to do it by feel and whatnot. Use quite a bit of curb there on entry usually. That's the one kind of safe place for it. You see I catch it on the first right side part of the bus stop as well. That can unsteady the car, catch too much of it, and scrub speed, throw you offline, any number of things. This car, sometimes it's best to downshift to first a little bit later. It can get a little steer correction there. But if you downshift too quickly, it can kind of tail have you want to try and come around on you a little bit. So be wary of. Need a lot of curve there, or even get your left sides up the turn a little bit. In the race, you'll as the turn that there always seems to be a caution flag. It waves a lot there. Something they've never really been able to fix. When there is a car in the way there, it can be scary. So I didn't use nearly as much there on the entry. Slap on the breakdown. Probably the last lap I ran since it was fastest. Official lap, since that actual fastest lap would have been elevated. Alright. So heading into turn one, you're going to get down towards the bottom here, right as you cross the finish line. But as you're crossing it, you want to go up the track. And here's these dash marks. You got 4 of them before you. There's 4 as you're entering turn one. You only count them. So there's 1, there's 2, there's a 3rd one, and there's a 4th one right here. Safe place is as you're clipping the end of this, begin braking. But it's definitely possible to kind of go halfway between. Somewhere in there you should be braking. Anything after that, you're probably going to end up missing. Turn 1 can be pretty tricky in this car. I'm braking, which is right there in what I said. You're going to aim here more for the inside. You want to try and do a lot of braking and as much of a straight line as possible, putting wheel into it while braking. Around to be unstable. Heavy brake here. 80, 85, 90, I would say. Type of apex here, and then you're going to push out a little wider. You may not go all the way to the right side of the track. Short. Then you're going to aim as you're going sides, right line. I miss it a little bit. You're going to exit out nice and wide. Safer would be to not exit quite as wide so that you get a little bit run through this chicane where you're flat out, but being here, I'm all over the strips. You get there. Gonna get up to fourth here. Hit exit here. You go solid line, and then you have all these dashes. During the race, you gotta be really, really careful. Gotta be in the know of pit road because you pit exit. But as I'm hitting the end of this last dash break, I think some skilled and faster people may break a little bit later, but you gotta be on it to do that. Again, very heavy braking, but in a straight line. I'm gonna be rolling out of brake as you see as I'm beginning to turn in. Use first gear into really wide here. I'm gonna try and clip down here, get up on this yellow rumble strip, but you want to try and the optimal place to aim would be end of the yellow strip. That's when you start getting back on the power and exit all nice and wide here. Don't want to, if you're jumping across this part of the yellow strip, you are exiting too early from this, maybe getting into the throttle a little bit. But it's okay, take it. Strip. Going flat out through here. Maybe get up to fifth gear. Sixth. Alright, here's your next major place. Use the left side of the track, you can use the right side of the track as your guide. I naturally right side of the track. Solid line starts to turn to dashes. I'm gonna start braking. Compare that to this side of the track, it's kind of access right about here. Again, heavy braking, easing off of it. This turn is a bit of a double apex. I don't hit the line right consistently. I will gonna get down to first. But you want to try and clip here at the yellow curb. I'm doing decent. Then you're gonna X out a little bit wider, and then you're gonna apex a single apex that, but ideally you want to just try and straighten up turn. Get the power down. I think you can leave it in third gear here. I don't think you have to go to fourth. I think I go to fourth. In this access road, that's actually part of it. But at the start of the access road, end of is where you go. Right about here, again, braking, consistent, but in a straight line. As you're catching the end of this curb right, I'm gonna start turning in. Did a little bit later. I go down to first gear. This is the yellow curve I was talking about. You get really close to the inside here. Get your sides here on the dirt. I don't know when it becomes off track, but it takes a lot to be an off track there. Getting the power down here is probably one of the trickier things to do. Spun. You just gotta be patient. Get that power down. As you can see, I'm throttle here. And earlier able to pick it up on throttle, so I'm full throttle here. Earlier able to down this. Exit after like mid trackish, you don't want to hold it super tight there. You want to carry a little bit of that speed, and you're the NASCAR road where you want to put them out of line. It's great in the main race or in the Daytona 4 because the straightaway and the straightaway after the top, you could have a break and rest. Slower class cars, generally speaking, should be staying to the inside, so you can pass them on the outside. You got to be patient in the don't issues. Just gonna have these straight away. You gotta just kind of the risk. If you're throwing it in there a lot on the infield in places you potentially should not be, probably going to end up wrecked at something. Probably going to be bad at somebody, but in reality, it's going to be theirs. Alright. So we just passed the 3 sign, there's a 2 sign, there's a 1 sign, and there's a little stoplight right here. I like using the traffic signal. Traffic signal is kind of between the 2 and the 1. Start braking at it. Again, heavy peak braking. A straight line. Out of it. I'm going to get down to 3rd. Take quite a bit of curb here on the left side. Even get your tires on that dirt. Start cutting it back to the right. I think optimal would be to, but I catch it most of the time. Start feeding the throttle back into it a little bit. Get your right sides onto this light part a little bit, not too far. I kind of put the power all the way back down. Then you're gonna get your left side. Exit. That's carrying max speed. That perfect? No. But that's safe. And you're just gonna get this way up to 6. The draft can be pretty massive, especially when you're finding a car here. The defensive line in turn 1 is you're on the inside to make the guy go around your outside. A lot of incidents happen in turn 1, people running wide. You just gotta be patient with it. Hopefully, a lot of give and take. Outside of that, let me know. I will do my best to answer them.